sure everyone at some point has taken an exam or had a homework assignment that you worked really, really hard on, and you knew all the material too, but you still didn't do too well and you didn't get a good grade. And as students, we get a lot of schoolwork, but how does it affect our world ranking compared to other countries in testing? So, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, also known as the OECD, had 470,000 15-year-olds around the world take the Program for International Student Assessment, also known as the PISA, to determine a ranking for several countries. Out of 34 of these countries, the U.S. ranked 14th, while Finland ranked top 2 with Korea, and Finland has a great educational system that is very different from the U.S. And as you can see from the infographic about Finland, they have no homework, and they have a high school graduation rate of 93% compared to the U.S., which has 76%. And about 2 in 3 students in Finland will attend college. And as you can see in the chart, Finland's test scores dominate everyone else's by a lot. And so what makes Finnish students so successful? So for every 12 students, there is 1 teacher, compared to New York City, where there's 1 teacher for every 24 students. So students in Finland get more time with the teacher and get to interact with them more. Bless you. And teachers in Finland are very esteemed, and they're esteemed as doctors and lawyers because they require a master's degree. And the choosing teachers is very selective because they want to make sure they have the best teachers possible for the students. And standardized testing is kept to a minimum. In New York City high schools, bless you, there's about 10 standardized tests in the high school career compared to Finland, where there's only 1 standardized test that's taken when teenagers are 16 years old. And this allows kids to have more time for other activities outside of school and to just have more hobbies in general. So as you can see, the U.S. education system is different from Finland because it requires a lot of standardized tests and homework that tries to assess a student's knowledge, but this should be minimized to allow students to be involved in other activities. I'm going to go over this problem, the causes, and a solution for a better education system. So what is the problem? So the problem is that students spend too much time doing schoolwork and instead of other extracurricular activities like sports and internships that are crucial for a well-rounded student. I did the math and calculated that on average a high school student goes to school for 7 hours a day for 180 days. And there are 24 hours in a day, and if a student goes to sleep for around 8 hours, they're only left with 9 hours left for other activities like sports, clubs, a job, or family time, which really isn't a lot. And colleges are becoming more and more selective, so they're requiring more activities like varsity sports, internships, community service, and they're requiring job experience as well. And it's hard to do when there is homework and studying in the way, which takes a lot of time out. And for personal experience, sometimes I get so stressed and overwhelmed with schoolwork that, sometimes I cry and I kind of break down. But, I mean, there is a lot of work and it is overwhelming. So, yeah. And now that I've gone over the problem, I'll talk about the causes of this problem. So, a full-time Penn State student needs 12 or more credits, which is equivalent to 5 courses. And a lot of the students' time will be spent outside of class doing homework and studying for hours at the library, instead of being more involved in the school, community events, and clubs like Line Ambassadors or the Greek Life here. And while homework is supposed to help students get higher grades, there are 2 studies that say otherwise. In the first study, done in 2012, it's an Australian study by Richard Walker of Sydney University, and he's an educational psychologist at that school, and he found that countries where more time is spent on homework, those students score lower on standardized tests, like the PISA that I mentioned earlier with that chart. And in another study done in 2012 in the U.S., in this study, Gerald Latondra and his colleagues of Penn State found that teachers typically give take-home assignments that are unhelpful busy work. And he stated that homework appeared to be a remedial strategy for not covering topics in class and is not an advancement strategy to get students to improve or excel. So with these studies, we can use that with a lot of homework, it can lower test scores, and since Finland has no homework, it might be an explanation as to why their test scores are so high. But some of you might say that homework and tests have been used for years in schooling to test the student's knowledge of a class. And it's also the most affordable way to assess a student and their teacher. But even though these methods are affordable, they aren't the most effective at allowing students to really want to learn and appreciate education. But instead, it might prevent some students from wanting to further their education because of the workload or if they have to work outside school. And now that I've talked about some problems and its causes, what is the solution? So I think that adopting an education system comparable to Finland will allow students to highly respect teachers that give less tests and homework and more free time. And since Finland has an effective education system, if the U.S. implements some of those changes, the U.S. could eventually have a great comparable education system similar to Finland's. And slowly there is being some progress made, like in the tests, like SATs. They're being reformatted by changing what's tested, how it's scored, and how students can prepare for it. And in the picture, it's the College Board President and CEO, David Coleman, and he stated at a conference that SATs are too stressful for students, and they're too filled with mystery and tricks, and aren't necessarily creating more college-ready students. And they're far too disconnected from the work of our high school. So, as you can see, there is being some progress made. They are reformatting tests to make them more convenient for students. So, I've gone over the problem of homework and tests and solutions to fix it. So with less outside schoolwork, students can have more hobbies and be more involved with the community. And even though our educational system is not like Finland's, we should still be using those extra 9 hours being involved in the community or getting into a new hobby. And eventually, instead of being ranked 14th place, maybe we can make it to the top with students who are less stressed and more well-rounded. But if this plan doesn't by any chance work, you can always move to Finland. It's a beautiful country with great education.